This is Jay Dobbins, your host of the Marvel DC Universe Fan Club. We are now at episode 121, and I'll be doing a review on Ant-Man and the Wasp. So, spoiler alert, if you have not seen Ant-Man and the Wasp, I strongly suggest that you do not listen to this episode. You've been warned. So, the Ant-Man and the Wasp movie takes place after the events of Captain America Civil War. So this is like a different timeline think of it as a vantage point. Like, for example, you have different um, you have different timelines and different sides. Like, for example, say if say for example, Thor Ragnarok will be a perfect example. While the events of Captain America Civil War are going on, Hulk and while Captain America Civil War was going on, Hulk Ragnarok was happening as well. So those are called vantage points. Different point of views, pretty much. So that would be a perfect example, of course. And yeah, so people were wondering, oh, what happened to why Captain America and Hulk were not, why Thor and Hulk were not in the Captain America Civil War movie. It's because they had their own problems in Thor Ragnarok, so that was why. But anyway, I'm gonna stick back. I'm gonna get on point. Sorry, but yeah, Ant-Man and the Wasp takes place after the events of after the events of Captain America Civil War and during the events of Avengers Infinity War. So, but anyway, in this movie, the first scene takes place in 1987 when Janet Van Dyne, also known as the Wasp, the first Wasp, shrinks between the molecules of a Soviet nuclear missile, disabling it, but becoming trapped in the microscopic quantum realm. Hank Pym, who was the first Ant-Man, raises their daughter Hope, assuming that Janet is dead. Years later, former criminal Scott Lang takes up the mantle of Ant-Man and discovers a way to both enter and return from the quantum realm. So Pym and Hope begin working on, and repeating this feature. But yeah, Pym and Hope began work on repeating this feat. Sure, I guess. Believing they may find Janet alive. So Lang and Hope also start a romantic relationship and begin training to fight together as Ant-Man and the Wasp, until Lang secretly helps Captain America during a skirmish between the Avengers in violation of the Sokovia Accords. So, but Lang is placed under house arrest, and this is after he found his way back into the U.S. Because Captain America Civil War, the fight was going on in a German airport. So, but yeah, after, I guess, Captain America freed the Avengers, well, the ones that are on his team, I guess, according to the events according to the Avengers Infinity War, in that movie we found out that Hawkeye and Ant-Man, also known as Clint Barton and Scott Lang, made deals with the FBI, pretty much. So, but yeah, Lang was under house arrest, so he made a deal with the FBI. While Pym and Hope go into hiding and cut ties with Lang. 2 years later, Pym and Hope briefly managed to open a tunnel to the quantum realm. Lang receives an apparent message from Janet, who is who he is quantumly entangled with, and I'm guessing, and that pretty much happened while he was in the quantum realm. So, despite having only days left of house arrest, Lang decides to call Pym. So, but so Hope kidnaps Lang, leaving a decoy so as not to arouse suspicion from FBI agent Jimmy Woo. So, seeing the message as confirmation that Janet is alive, Pym and Hope work to create a stable tunnel so they can take a vehicle to the quantum realm and retrieve Janet. So Hope arranges to buy a part needed for the tunnel from black market dealer Sonny Birch. But Birch has realized the potential profit that can be earned from Pym and Hope's research and double crosses them. That's why you never do deals with people in the black market. But Hope fights Burke and his men off until she is attacked by a quantumly unstable masked woman. So Lang tries to help fight this ghost off. Well, yeah. So he tries. So Lang tries to fight off this ghost, which is the name of the villain, but she escapes with Pym's portable lab. So Pym reluctantly visits his estranged former partner, Bill Foster, who helps them locate the lab. So, Ghost restrains Lang, Hope, and Pym when they arrive. So, and reveals herself to be Ava Starr. Her father, Alias, another former partner of Pym's, accidentally killed himself and his wife during a quantum experiment that caused Ava's unstable state. So Foster reveals that he has been helping Ava, who they plan to cure using Janet's quantum energy. Believing that this will kill Janet, Pym refuses to help them, and the trio manage to escape. So opening a stable version of the tunnel, this time, Pym and Hope are able to contact Janet, who gives them a precise location to find her, but warns that they only have 2 hours before the unstable nature of the realm separates them for centuries. So Burke learns their location from Lang's business partner, Louise, Dave, and Kurt, which I believe, Kurt is played by David Motion, who I did a podcast interview a year ago at Planet Comic Con. So, they informed a contact at the FBI. When I mean by they, I mean Burke and his team, or people rather. But yeah, they inform a contact at the FBI. Lewis warns Lang, who rushes home before Wu can pretty much discover, before Wu can catch him breaking his house arrest. So, discover that he was gone pretty much. But anyway, so this leaves Hope and Pym to be arrested, and for the lab to be taken by Ava. Lang is soon able to help Pym and Hope escape custody, and they find the lab. Lang and Hope distract Ava while Pym enters the quantum realm to retrieve Janet, but the pair end up fighting Bert and his men, which allows Ava to break back into the lab and begin taking Janet's energy. Luis, Dave, and Kurt help apprehend Birch, so Lang and Hope can stop Ava. So Pym and Janet arrive safely from the quantum realm, and Janet voluntarily gives some of her energy to Ava to temporarily stabilize her. So, but yeah, so Lang returns home again in time for a now suspicious Wu to release him at the end of his house arrest. So Ava and Foster go into hiding, but Pym, Lang, Hope, and Janet plan to harvest energy. Wait a minute, sorry. But yeah, this is pretty much in the mid-credit scene though. So, but yeah, they harvest energy to help, uh, to continue to help Ayla pretty much. So, and then in a mid-credit scene, Lang is doing this in the quantum realm when Pym and Hope all disintegrate. So, when this happened, I mean, during the post-credit scene, you see that happen. He's in the quantum realm getting some energy in a canister or something, or a tube of some kind, to contain the energy and come back from the quantum realm to help Ava. But then, while they're communicating with each other, you hear static in the communications, like on the other end there's static. So you're kind of wondering, like, okay, what's going on? And then I realized, uh, well, I knew something happened after that. That's when I was like, oh no, when on the other side you hear static, communication, like you hear static in the communications on both end, well, on the other end. So you're like, shh, and then all of a sudden I was thinking, and I was like, what's going on? And I was like, oh no. Then they were, Ant-Man was like, hello, guys, and then also you see a bunch of freaking ashes flying around. That's when you realize that, oh man, you know, Janet, Hope, and Pym did not survive the Thanos snap. That's when I was like, oh no, half the universe, but Ant-Man's lucky that he was in the quantum realm during the Thanos snap. Otherwise, he probably would have been gone too. So, but then in the end credits, they showed one of the big ants from the first film playing the doggone drum set. So, but that was it. But then in the end of that, in the end of that after credit scene, it said Ant-Man and the Wasp will return, with a question mark. So I don't know what that's all about, but question, we don't know what's going to happen in the Avengers 4 film. So, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to be talking about that soon. So, hopefully with a panel. But anyway, there you have it. And I'm going to say that the Ant-Man film, honestly, it was okay. I will still watch it a second time, and I'll still take my friend Regina to see it. No doubt about it. So, since, we always take her to see Marvel movies anyway, so most of the movies I would watch more than once, except for The Incredible Hulk. But other than that, I would still buy Ant-Man on iTunes. The writing was okay. I guess it wasn't that much action that as expected. They hyped it all up in the trailer, but I guess the writing was okay. I did like the special effects. I did like how they introduced Bill Foster, who was known as, well, he said he was doing a project with Hank Pym back in the day called Project Goliath, and I'm guessing that I'm guessing they're referring to the Marvel superhero from back in the day, Goliath. We have the ability to change his size, but in the movie he said that his record was 25 feet. So yeah, he was able to grow in a larger size in the comic books, I believe. So, but so I like how they threw that in, and I guess the idea of Ghost being a woman, that's pretty much new to me. No, I thought Ghost was a man, to be honest with you. But yeah. So you have that. I give it I guess probably a 7 out of 7. Sorry, a 70 out of 100. So, but yeah, the writing was okay. I did like the special effects though, most definitely. I did like the costume designs for Ant-Man and the Wasp. So, and I like how they put the little Infinity War scene in the mid credit scene. I mean, in the mid credits, pretty much when this is going on because I mean, after all, the Ant-Man and Wasp was going on during the events of the Avengers Infinity War. So I like how they put the little Thanos snap. Even though they didn't show Thanos, but it gave you a pretty good idea of oh, Thanos snapped his fingers, so therefore Hope, Pym, and Janet just disintegrated, pretty much. So I like how they put that in there, and I also, I mean, it was okay. I mean, yeah, that's all I could say. To be honest with you, I'm not saying that it wasn't as good as the Avengers or the first film. I mean, honestly, the first film was better than this. To be honest with you, but I just the one thing I liked about this film, not only was it the mid credit scene, how they put in the events of Infinity War into the post credit scene, but I also like how they were able to put the Wasp in the into the film. So I want the goal is to see her in action, and I did see her in action so far. So, but I thought there was some things that shouldn't have been in there really. But I really don't want to get into that. But yeah, so I mean, yeah, the movie was okay. I mean, I was still buying on iTunes anyway. Probably would watch it a second time on Netflix or whatever. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, I did like the cinematography. I did like how yeah. I did mention the costume designing. Costume designs pretty much. I did like the costumes and everything like that, and the special effects. So, but yeah, that concludes uh this review. Of course, feel free to visit us and like us on Facebook. We are available on iTunes and Google Play Music app.